This week's episode is on seeing the truth. I'm Rachael Keefe, and this is Monday's Muse. One of the lectionary passages for this week contains the story of Lydia. Lydia, the purveyor of purple cloth. Lydia, who converted to Christianity after she heard Paul preach, and then proceeded to offer Paul and his companions a place to stay while they were in town, and later took them in again after they had been imprisoned. Lydia is a woman we don't hear much about, but there's remarkable things about Lydia. She was a business owner. She had her own household. This is not what we think of when we think of women in the first century of Palestine. And yet this is what it was. And I got to thinking, maybe Lydia wasn't the exception. Maybe other women were business owners, had their own households. Maybe women had more freedom in that first century around the Palestine area than we were taught. There are catacombs in Rome that show women priests that date back to the early 3rd century. I think that we have been misled about the role of women in faith life for a very long time. Because the story of Lydia shows that Lydia was a powerful leader, and she did more than financially provide for Paul and his companions. And if it's possible that we have been misled about the role of women in church, it is also possible we've been misled about a whole lot of other things in the name of Christianity. And it seems to me that Memorial Day is a good time to think about our history. We think about those who gave their lives on battlefields, but do we think about others who lost their lives because white folks took their land, took them from their homeland? We have told a version of history that isn't accurate. We have failed to see the humanity in our neighbors, in our siblings, all around us. And the church has endorsed this. So my friends, I'm asking you to take a look at what you've been taught. And is it possible that there is a different truth? One that recognizes the full humanity, the full equality, and the full divinity in all God's children. So think about that this week as you encounter those you perceive to be different from yourselves. And remember that Jesus didn't discriminate, and apparently neither did Paul. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.